everybody, I'm Nina with Sharing a Journey. Have you ever wondered how to go about touching up your sunscreen in the middle of the day? Now, we all have been taught to put on sunscreen in the morning under our makeup. And if you've gone to all the trouble to find that holy grail sunscreen that goes with your holy grail foundation and all of that is working, then how do you go about adding more sunscreen throughout the day, especially if you're outside? Well, there is a solution, and it is easy and great and wonderful, especially if you have oily skin. It is mineral-based powdered sunscreen, and many of them come like this. They come with the mineral sunscreen in a powder form and a brush applicator, and you simply just tap it down and then just apply it to your face. It mattifies and controls the oil that may be on your skin, and it also helps to top off your sunscreen. So this one here is by Color Science, and they were pioneers in this field of mineral sunscreen. However, it was Peter Thomas Roth who made it to Sephora and some of the big box stores first. And so that was the first mineral powder sunscreen that I was introduced to. And I learned about it about 8 years ago, and I've had a mineral sunscreen in my purse ever since. Living in Florida, you never know when somebody's going to say, hey, let's go to lunch. And you get to lunch and they say, let's eat outside. And so it's just wonderful to have something like this just tucked away in your purse, and you just get it out and discreetly powder yourself up, and you don't have to worry about the fact that you are now sitting in the bright sunlight. Your skin will thank you for it. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the various sunscreens that I've tried and kind of give you kind of some information, or kind of a review, I guess. A review. That's what we're talking about today, a review of the powdered sunscreens that I've tried. Now, the very first one that I tried was Peter Thomas Roth, and it retails at $45, and it's an SPF 45. I've had 2 of those. I bought my first one many years ago, and I used it up, and I bought a second one, so I always had one in my purse. And I wasn't aware that there were any other brands out there. That was the only one that seemed to be in the stores. But it had one drawback for me as an oily skinned person, and that was that it oxidized. And so oftentimes, like say if we went to Disney and I was reapplying multiple times throughout the day, I'd get home and I would look a little bit orange. That's obviously not optimal, and the number of times that that's happened through the years is very small, since most of the time I would only be topping off or touching up my sunscreen, maybe once or twice a week, and only for an hour or 2. So it wasn't like an all-day thing, like a day at Disney or at some other outside activity that would require a lot of topping off. So when I heard that Goop had come out with a mineral sunscreen, I was really excited. And so I ordered a container of it just a few months ago. And unfortunately, I gave it to Brooke. Otherwise, I would have it here to show you. But it had a very sort of cool reservoir for the powder down below. It could be refillable. You simply snap out the reservoir and put a fresh one in, which helps on the containers and so forth. But the problem with the Goop sunscreen was in the applicator, the powder applicator above. In like on this one, it was in the brush area. So some people were saying that when they tipped the brush and the mechanism over, then they were getting big globs of powder all over their clothes. I actually had the opposite problem. I wasn't able to get the sunscreen to come out. So I was removing the brush, pouring some of the sunscreen into my hand, and then dipping the brush into it and applying it to my face. So because of that, I ended up giving that one to Brooke. I think that based on the comments that are on the Sephora website, they need to revisit their applicator. Otherwise, I think it's a beautiful product. It works as well as any other, and it's an SPF 50, and I found that it looked really nice on the skin, but the applicator was just an unfortunate problem. The next one that I bought after I gave the other one away was the Color Science. I wanted to try this. This was the Pioneer. It comes in 4 shades. It's a little bit pricey at $65. It was one of the more expensive ones that I found while I was researching. And it's interesting because when I first started putting together the post, I came up with 4 different brands that were offering a sunscreen like this. And then about a week later, I went to do some more research, and I found 4 more companies that are now offering sunscreen in this type of format, which I unfortunately have not yet tried, but I plan to add them to my list of things to try in the future. Anyway, this comes in 4 different colors, which is nice because if you have a deeper skin tone, then you can apply it without getting like a light or white sheen on the surface of your skin. So I think that's really great. The powder is really great. The applicator is dependable. And so this one is really nice. I think the only thing that would be a drawback would be the price tag at $65. The next one that I tried was the It Cosmetics. This is Your Skin But Better CC SPF 50. This is a foundation, and I've used it a lot. It's kind of got this kind of strange bumpy thing here that somehow formed. I don't know why that is. But you apply it with the powder puff, or this kind of spongy powder puff. And it comes in multiple colors. I think there were 16 when I looked. Originally there were 4, but there are 16 now. And again, you can just pat it on wherever you like it. It Cosmetics, has the nice CC Plus sunscreen products. And I have this in both the light and the medium. I had originally bought the medium, but then I found that the light matched my skin tone better. Now, the only thing about this is that, it's compact. It could slip into your purse easily. I don't know. I just find that I use the brush version better. I'm not sure why. I also notice that there is a little bit of oxidation with this. But I guess that I can't really say anything except that I tend to gravitate to this because it seems like it's a little bit more convenient. But I've often carried the CC Plus in my purses and used it in the same way, even though I think you can actually use it as a regular foundation. It says here that it's sheer to full coverage, and it has the official blurring finish. So if you think that this is not going to be something that you like, but you might like this better, I think it's nice. Now, Tarte did come out with a powder sunscreen also. It's an SPF 30, and one of the reasons, I guess the reason that I wasn't that interested in that product is because I knew I could get SPF 50, and I really prefer that. Now, Jane Iredale has a powdered sunscreen, as does Paula's Choice. Neither of those do I have. I just really found out that both of those are available now, and I'll be trying those in the future. But I must say that using and having a mineral sunscreen is a real bonus. It's really great, and I would highly recommend these brands. If you have drier skin, that maybe the Peter Thomas Roth will work a little bit better in terms of not oxidizing. But who knows, maybe Goop will fix their applicator, and that will be a fine option too. All in all, I recommend these, and I think that they're very interesting and they're very worth a shot and a purchase.